Hey, wait a minute. Is that what I think it is? Oh yeah, it is. It's a Forza live stream. It's pretty cool. Oh. Alright. Damn, that was a pretty good live stream, not gonna lie. I wonder what else they have. Yeah, let's go search it up. Forza Horizon 5. There we go. Alright. Oh. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we have a very different type of video. As you saw by the intro, somebody known as Dead Metal did a video on how Forza Horizon 5 is supposedly trash. Now here's the funny thing, Forza Horizon 5 still has a little bit under a month left until it is actually released. But as in any community, we should listen to all the complaints about that the people do about a game so that we know what to do and how to fix it. So let's get into the video. Now for this video, what we're going to do is we're going to play a little segment of a video, and then afterwards I will respond to it. And yeah, okay, so here we go. This is the first part. This is how he introduces the video to us and how the game is trash. So let's start up.
Well, another year, another Forza game where Microsoft continues to milk away at one of its used-to-be-loved franchises, but now is just feeling old and tired and repetitive and kind of like we don't need all these needless sequels.
Now we start off with Dead Metal calling Forza an old or used-to-be-loved game. That's not true. If you guys know the Forza community, you would know that literally Forza is like Forza 4. All the Forzas are actually still extremely active. Even going into the Motorsport series, everyone's really playing all those games. Even it's like Forza has one of the most loyal fan bases out there, just because it's a car game. So we get a lot of traffic from car people and a lot of people who just want to enjoy cars. And then he says Microsoft is milking away on this game. Now here's my issue with him saying that. Microsoft, yes, has a big share in Forza, but they do not really own Turn 10 Studios, which are the ones not Turn 10, Playground Games, and Turn 10, I guess, but like they don't own that company. Those are the ones who are actually making the game. Microsoft is really just giving them the platform to do so, and even then, it's not even Microsoft; it's Xbox is giving them the actual platform to do so. So, in that aspect, he's extremely wrong. They're not really milking it because if you were milking a game, it'd be somewhat like Madden or FIFA, where you just do a reskin, upgrade the graphics, and basically somewhat of the basis of the game is very similar to the one beforehand. But in this aspect, I'll go into a little bit deeper later. Forza is not repeating like any of the aspects of the game, except for the fact that you can drive and just race. And even then, some of those aspects are completely different, which I'll explain later on.
We are 5 Gears of War games deep. We are 6 Halo games deep. Mainline series, both of those, by the way. And now we're 5 Forza Horizon games deep. Are you noticing a trend here? Are you noticing how Microsoft continues to fall back on antiquated franchises of yesteryear to carry them into relevancy? Because I am. A lot of people gave up Xbox last generation for this very reason, and then they doubled down on their stupidity by moving all the games over to PC. So there's even less of a reason to put an Xbox in your home.
So Dead Metal here references Gears of War and Halo, which are both really, really good franchises, and carrying them into relevancy? Really? I think Xbox has done a good job just being themselves. I don't think they need something to keep them relevant. I think the games themselves just provide them the relevancy they need. Like, I've never actually played Gears of War, but I've played quite a bit of Halo, and I really enjoy all their games. Of course, between the community, there's games that you do like or you don't like, but I don't think they need to milk anything. Like, just look at Halo Infinite. That game itself has gotten so much promotion, so much hype within the communities, within all communities. Like I said, I do play a little bit of Halo, but I'm not really part of that franchise's fan base, but I'm still kind of hyped for the game. Like it sounds like a really good game. And Microsoft like again, Microsoft is not the ones creating the game. They're giving them the platform to do so. They're not actually making the game. That would be the studio that's making the game. So then again, that argument itself is at issue. And then he says that if we look back a little bit, that people are leaving Xbox for that reason. I don't think people are really leaving Xbox. I mean, not to my notice. I mean, like some of my friends are actually transitioning over to Xbox just because most of us are playing Xbox, but that doesn't really have to do anything. But I think most people have moved over to PS4 or the PS platform just because of their very big and very interesting, very well developed games over there. Mostly they're story driven games, like a lot like the Spider-Man game and a lot of other huge franchises that are only available on PS4. But then again, like Xbox has a lot of other franchises that are not on PS4. Forza being an example, where Forza has a huge fan base, where on PS4 there aren't really that many racing games that are as big as Forza. Like look at Need for Speed. Need for Speed is in both Xbox and PS4. So like if you want car games, go to Xbox. You have your things there. And he also mentions that they're doing something dumb by moving all those games over to PC. I think it's actually better to move them to PC, and even then, like, it's like the whole thing there, I think it's a good thing for them to be on PC as well, just to give people a variety of different games or different consoles to play on. Like some people don't want to have an Xbox, so because they don't want to have an Xbox, like now they're only limited to PS. No, I think PC is a good thing. It allows people to play all games from different regions, but of course, if you want to have an Xbox only, you want to have a PS only, then do so. But for people who just have a PC, then having those games on PC available now is actually a good thing, so that they can enjoy the game. And they're still getting money from the games they're putting on PC. It's not like they're not getting any money from it. Like obviously, Microsoft makes computer software. So obviously, they're going to move the games over to their software so they can get money from it. And then again, PC also allows you to get better graphics in general and run the game faster, better. A lot of gamers on Twitch, YouTube, and all their streaming platforms are on PC because it's just a better platform to game on, especially these FPS games are very common. PC is a better and a more adaptable platform to play on. Alrighty, moving on. Here we go.
But as a company, as purely a software company that Microsoft chooses to publish games under the Xbox Games brand as, they are failing. They are failing spectacularly, and we are watching the collapse of a behemoth of a tech company because of one severely disillusioned Phil Spencer and a whole lot of overpromises and underdeliveries.
What? What? Did he... Microsoft? On a downfall? Really? Really? Okay. I'm going to search this up at the moment. Okay. It says right here, I'll put a picture on the screen right now. The current Microsoft increase rate this year alone on the stock market has been a full 36%. Now, I'm not a stock market, genius or enthusiast or whatever you're going to call it. I'm not really into stocks. I don't know how they work, but I would imagine that if your stock market value increased by 36% by 1 year, I think that would be a lot, because 36% is very close to being almost half of your whole corporate value. So I don't look at it being as, going on a downhill. And if we look back to this man saying that a lot of promises and under deliveries, the only thing that would directly relate to Microsoft in this situation would be Xbox. Xbox, right? Xbox. What could have Xbox possibly done to create promises that were under-delivered? The only thing that Xbox has really made new in this whole year have been the consoles. The consoles. Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, right? We're like the current competitor for the PS5. Two very good options. So you have this console that has the same ability as the PS5, the Xbox Series X, and then you have the cheaper version that still works extremely well to what it does, but it's obviously a lot cheaper, a lot smaller, a lot for the consumer who doesn't want to spend as much as an Xbox Series X, but will still get that new gen performance. Now we don't know like if they're as reliable as their previous consoles, whether they've been breaking down or not, because obviously it's only been a year, well, not even a year since they've been released, and we haven't really seen like the reliability of these consoles. We've only really seen, here's the performance, la 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 la. We've only had them for so little. We don't really know if they're going to be reliable, and even then, it's not really an argument. Like Microsoft is connected obviously to Xbox because they've bought Xbox, but Xbox itself is not Microsoft. Microsoft is nowhere in the sense like Microsoft is not Xbox. Xbox is part of Microsoft, but Microsoft is not Xbox. So there's no correlation there. Like Microsoft is one of the biggest tech companies at the moment. They own so many shares. They own so many other parts of different companies. They have one of the biggest operating systems for any type of computer, known as Microsoft Windows. When you turn on, if you see, like, you go on TikTok, you go to any current social media, and you look at these tips for your computer, la 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 la, or anything related to a computer, you will always see that their computer is either running Mac OS or using Windows. And Windows is probably the bigger, I would say, the bigger operating system for all these computers, just because Microsoft just owns like the market in, well, not fully, but it owns so many parts of just the technology market, and their operating system is like just the most commonly used, one of the most commonly used and preferred operating systems for any computer, like including computer systems from computers companies like Alienware and other technology companies that make computers. They rely on Microsoft / Windows. So you can't really call it a company that's falling down when so many other companies rely on what they do and what they have.
This game. Oh, what's the big new thing? Oh, you're going to Mexico. That's right. What could have very easily been Mexico DLC for Forza Horizon 4 has instead been turned into an entire game on its own, a game that they're expecting you to pay $60 for. I don't want to pay $60 to go to Mexico in a virtual game, do you? I sure as don't plan on paying for this, and I don't think any of you do either. I don't think that Microsoft's expecting anybody to pay for this. That's why they're dumping all this regurgitated trash on Game Pass day one to quote-unquote bolster the value. There is no value in games like this.
So, Mexico could have never been put into a DLC. Like, if you haven't been paying attention to the current Forza Horizon 5 live streams done by Turn 10 Studios and Forza, the channel itself, you'll notice. I'll leave a link to the channel itself, and I think the newest live stream, which the next live stream should be next week. I don't know when I'm posting this, but don't worry about it. I'll just leave the links in the description for you guys to check it out. But for like Mexico is just so environmentally diverse. Like if you were to see the trailer itself, you would see how many different regions of the map there is. There's like 3 different deserts. There's the 2 different coasts on the left side, on the right side of the map. There's at least 3 different jungles. There's a rainforest. There's a swamp. There's like multiple cities that have diverse architectural advancements and just how they're built. They're all super diverse, and it's the culture within all those cities that are so like different to each other. All of that, which quoting Forza themselves, they always tried to bring the culture from the country into their game, and that would have never been possible if it was just put as a DLC. That's why you see smaller games or smaller collaborations like Hot Wheels and Lego and Fast and the Furious put as DLC, because it's easier to put together. It's not as big as a country. It's literally just a smaller series, and it's just where you can pack all that information, all that story into one singular DLC that you could finish in a couple hours. When you're talking about a whole country, which is what each game is based off of, a whole country, you need a whole game to actually show off what the whole country is made out of, or like the culture of that singular country. You can't just put that into one singular DLC. Mexico is so vast, expanse. It has so many different cultures, so many different environments, so many different things, so many plants, animals, everything, that you cannot just put it into a singular DLC. And $60 to go to Mexico just like not for one day. Like you're paying for a singular game for $60 for as long as you have a console, as long as you have your Microsoft account, as long as you have your Xbox account. This is not a game to just go virtually, let's say like one singular virtual trip to Mexico just once. No, this is a game where you're going to experience almost somewhat of a virtual replica, well, not really a replica, but somewhat of a clone of what you would it feel to be in Mexico, not just to live there, but to drive these cars that you will never in your life have a chance to drive in a country you've probably never been into unless you are from Mexico or you've been traveling around the world. Like, Forza is not a game of like, oh, we're just gonna replicate this game or like replicate this country. We're gonna bring the culture from this country and add it to having these amazing cars that people can now have access to, which people who would have never had access to beforehand. Like that's what Forza is. And of course, if you don't want to pay $60, you don't have to pay $60. You can obviously go to Game Pass. That's why it's on Game Pass. So people who don't have the money to pay for those $60, they can just pay for I think for Game Pass it's like $8, $9 to get Game Pass alone. So on Game Pass you can just play all these games, Forza Horizon 5, all these other games that are available on that Game Pass, which I'll explain later why Game Pass even exists. But and if you feel like Game Pass is not a good enough value for you, then you can get Game Pass Ultimate, which gives you Game Pass, EA, and Xbox Live Gold all in a single package, $15 a month instead of having to pay. I think Game Pass is $9 ish, EA Play around the same price, and then again you're gonna have to pay for Gold if you want to play with your friends. So that's like almost $20 plus instead of just having to pay $15. And that's just how amazing it is. When you do have Game Pass, you'll get discounts on other games. So it's not just like a one-trick pony. You get all these other features plus even more. And sometimes you get perks which allow you to have like let's say a couple months free on Disney Plus, a couple months free on this, that, la 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 la. Like, there's a lot more to this just having one singular game on Game Pass. No, Game Pass allows you to have a lot more. And having Forza Horizon 5 and even Forza Horizon 4 on Game Pass, which is the current situation, it allows so many people to play these games for free without having to pay $60. And going back to the ideology or just the example of only paying $60 to go to Mexico, if you go for ticket prices to going to Mexico, you would see that if you had to only pay $60 to be in Mexico, pay for food, clothing, apartment arrangements, and transportation, like $60 is way more of a deal than anything else. Like if you go online at the moment, you go for tickets. Tickets can go from like just $100 to up like $1,000 to get all the way to Mexico, and that just doesn't. And then you have to pay for hotel, you have to pay for food, you have to pay for transportation, fuel, all those other things. You're literally paying $60 or however much you want to pay for Game Pass, $60 to be in Mexico basically every single day of your life without having to pay anything for food, cost, living expenses, and just even transportation like cars and stuff. You have the ability to have this expanse amount of cars, up to like thousands of cars, to just drive and try out in this new environments you've probably never even been in before. So yeah, no, this whole argument is not it's not even not even a good argument. Anyways, moving on.
Games like this are a fucking joke. Games like Forza Horizon 5 are ruining the gaming industry because they show a lack of innovation, they show a lack of commitment to quality, and they show that Microsoft has absolutely no desire to take a brand new creative approach to the games that they're publishing. They would rather rely on these old franchises, much like, who is that? Nintendo. They're taking the Nintendo approach, except they continue to shovel out worse and worse products. Say what you will about Nintendo, they typically have a level of quality to their regurgitated trash. Microsoft is content to shovel it out to you without even being tested.
Okay, calling Forza a joke? Are you okay, my guy? Okay, I understand maybe not liking cars and maybe not liking the aspect of Forza, but calling it a joke, that's not very nice. And then a lack of innovation. If you were to just look at the trailer itself, you would understand that There is a little bit more innovation in that game than there are in so many other games. Example, maybe getting into games like, I don't know, maybe FIFA, all these other sports games. Like, I don't, anyways, going back to the topic, innovate, like Forza Horizon 5. If you'd seen the live streams again, I'll leave links in the description down below. But the live streams, they showed off so many new things that you would have never thought to have added to a game. They listened to the community to such a point where they add small things that you would have never expected to be in a game beforehand. Example, one of their recent live streams, they showed off that you can change your pronouns. I would have never thought of that to be in a game, ever. But Forza literally implements that into their game without anybody asking. Like, and then not just the small things like that, just like, being able to change your name, or I mean your pronouns, or just like the other factor that they said that you can change now your hair color, even just your hair from your normal character hair. The most innovative factor of Forza Horizon, which only one other game in the market is currently doing, Battlefield 2042, transitional weather. Like, it's not just like the whole map is raining at the same time. No, it's this weather that is moving throughout the map, which many of people don't even understand. Like, they can't even comprehend it sometimes. Where it's not like, if you look at Minecraft, let's give that an example. Let's say you're in one side of the map, right? It's raining. If you were to teleport onto the other side of the map, or you were to walk across a different biome, it's still raining in that biome. All the biomes are raining at the same time. No, Forza Horizon 5, your whole map, which takes almost like 10 minutes to cross across the whole map, will have different weathers at different times throughout different seasons, of which each section of the map has different weathers because, oh, guess what? You have a desert, you have a rainforest. All these different biomes have their different ecosystems, their different environmental climates. So each part of the map will have a different reaction to each different type of weather. There was a live stream recently where they showed off how a whole sandstorm happens in the middle of the desert. You can see that from across the map moving. Like, that is insane. And in Battlefield, they also show that off in the original gameplay trailer, where you would be parachuting down and you would see the sandstorm coming in from the left, and you'd see a tornado in the middle of the map. Like, I haven't seen any other game do that. Battlefield, Forza, taking these aspects of actual weather, implementing them into the game. The only two super innovative games in the market at the moment. And guess what? They're not even out yet. Battlefield just finished a beta a couple of days ago, and then Forza is not going to do a tester or a trial, and they're not going to do a demo as well. That'll be explained on another video, or maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. But you have to try out the game to actually experience what they're doing, which is like the most innovative things in the market at the moment. And bringing back, you're talking about Nintendo. Nintendo's a whole different case. Nintendo, they go for the money route sometimes, and they sometimes go for the quality route. Like, there's a lot of games on Nintendo that are amazing, and they have so much depth to them. And then there's some other games that are just repeats and washes of the games previously. Now, then again, these games are not boring. They're still extremely fun, and they're still, changing things here and there. There's a lot of things that are very different between each game. They're not carbon copies. They're a little bit different here and there in some aspects. But, Nintendo's a whole different story. They have a whole different approach to what they do. So we just got to stay here on the topic of Microsoft, which, again, they don't have a correlation of what Forza or Battlefield or Halo does on their platform. They're only giving you the platform to do it on. Like, let's say I'm selling paper. I have this paper, and then your teacher buys this paper, and then she makes a test on it, and then you fail the test. It wasn't my fault you failed the test. You failed it, or you passed it. But I made the paper, and then your teacher made the test. I don't have a correlation to you. I just made the paper for you. You have the platform to do it on. Whether you succeed or not is not part of the creator of that paper fault. It's the actual franchise itself and how well they do. And if you look at the current views and the current support for the game Forza Horizon is astounding. I will speak about it a little bit later when he brings it up one more time, but it's just the support for the game and the franchise is out of this world.
Forza Horizon 5 is going to be a catastrophic failure of a video game, and if you play it, you're a complete idiot. Don't fall for their hook, line, and sinker. Don't become the punchline to their joke. Become a smarter individual. Think your financial investments through. Ask yourself what Forza Horizon 5 is really going to give to you that Forza Horizon 4, Forza Horizon 3, Forza Horizon 2, or the original Forza Horizon haven't already given you. Think about all the other alternatives, the more compelling and creative alternatives such as Need for Speed, such as the Burnout Paradise remaster that can give you what you're looking for in Forza Horizon 5 and deliver it better.
Okay, so a trend that I've seen for Dead Metal to do a lot is he loves to just bash on the people who buy the games that they love and enjoy and call them just dumb people or idiots or just aspects like that. Like, if you're enjoying something, enjoy it. It's what you want to do, it's what you enjoy in life, it's what you really want to cherish. Now, Dead Metal loves to bash on people on what they do, what they prefer, and just believes that everything that a company does for money and you fall for it, then you become the laughing stock of that exchange. I mean, like, just do what you want to do. Don't let anything, you know, bolster you down with chains. And then he proceeds to call Need for Speed and Burnout Paradise to be the better options to Forza. Now, many of you know me as a car person. I enjoy cars. I love cars. They're one of my aspects in life. I just, I live cars basically. I've had both Burnout Paradise Remaster and Need for Speed Heat. Need for Speed Heat, I love that game. Burnout Paradise, I played that game throughout my childhood. But Forza, it's just in a completely different level. Like, of course, other games like The Crew have a lot of better aspects. You have like the changing between different types of vehicles. We have like water, land, and air vehicles in The Crew. But the delivery from games like Forza, it's just to a completely different level, and it's the support they get as well. Like, you'll see people like Jack Ultramotive, who for a very long period of time they switched over to The Crew. They played it a lot, but they eventually came back to Forza because just Forza is the better game in general. It's just superior in many aspects. And for a car person, you'll obviously look for the more realistic parts of a game. And if you don't want to look for the realistic parts, then obviously Burnout Paradise is a better choice. Like, Burnout Paradise is a lot more comical. It's a lot more, in a sense, not really much creative, but it's more playgroundish. You have a lot more, a more playground feel to what you do. Forza Horizon 5, Forza Horizon 4, all those other games are more realistic in that aspect. They've always gone for giving you the experience of being there in real life, basically. The ability to have these cars that you've never ever driven before, and you can play and you can drive them, you can drift them, you can do whatever you want to do with them. You can put paints on them that you would have never expected to put paints on. You can put different rims, different this, different that. Now, in customization value, of course, Need for Speed has a huge and better arrangement, but it's the fact that there's so little cars compared to how many cars Forza 4 has. It's just insane. There's too much of a leap between having the amount of cars you have in Forza 4 versus the amount of customizability in Need for Speed. The jump between having so many cars and customizability is not not the same. Like, you always go for the more cars because you have the more diverse amount of cars that you can just drive and experience. Of course, some customization is cool, but then again, we go back to the fact that you can have Game Pass Ultimate and you can have both games without having to worry about buying them separately. You have access to both games. That's why Game Pass is such a good idea. Or in the case that Game Pass allows you to have all these different games, and it still gives back to the community in a sense where you can play whatever games you want to play at any time, at any access. You can even play them on your phone. Because of the Game Pass app, you can play games on your phone, on your computer that would generally just only be on your Xbox, but now you can play them on your phone as long as you download it on your Xbox. And then we go back to the fact that this hot pot of games allows smaller and more creative game studios to put the games on there so that people can try them out and maybe even support the games and the studios that the game is being delivered to. And Game Pass allows it so that the creators of the games, and I read this in an article, I will link it in the description down below, but Microsoft or Xbox doesn't have a direct uh, rule on how the creator of the game gets paid through Game Pass. You can either make it as the creator of this game will give you the game if you pay. The creator of this game will decide if you pay it now and then you pay an ad revenue depending on how many downloads, or you can solely do it through downloads. There's so many different ways for a game creator or a game studio to get paid through Game Pass that it's just a very good choice than just to solely put it in the market, especially in this case where other games could do it better. But Forza Horizon, it's just a better option than just having or just playing Need for Speed or Burnout Paradise. Now, of course, Burnout Paradise and Need for Speed are amazing games, but there's just aspects from Forza Horizon that they just do it better. Obviously, you can always have fun in any game you want to have fun at. Don't get bolstered down or harassed by people. That's what they say in the internet. Just do what you love and do what you enjoy. If you prefer Forza, then go for Forza. If you prefer Need for Speed, then go for Need for Speed. But, if you're just going by the facts of what game is better, then in an aspect, Forza Horizon is just better. And he brings back the fact that what is Forza Horizon 5 going to give you that Forza Horizon 4, 3, 2, and 1 haven't already given you? If you look at the jump between Forza Horizon 2 and Forza Horizon 3, it is quite a bit. So you had this aspect of going night and day, and then the rain in Forza Horizon 2. Yeah? Forza Horizon 3, it's a completely different map. It's just more cars in general, and then the map is completely different. You have different aspects, and then you have all these expansion packs that weren't so much available in Forza Horizon 2. Now, many people still prefer Forza Horizon 2 over Forza Horizon 3. And then you look over to Forza Horizon 4, new seasons. It's something like not many games have really done, especially in the car section. Like if you look over to Need for Speed or you go look over to Burnout Paradise, there's not weather changes. Obviously there is rain, but there aren't any climactic changes like seasons in that aspect. Forza is the only to have done that, besides maybe The Crew, where they have some snow. Forza has that seasonal change that just changed the game for not only cars, but just every other game franchise. Now you see different weather type, different seasons on other games. And then again, the change between Forza Horizon 2 and Forza Horizon 4 is a huge jump. And it's not only the game that changes or the location that changes, but it's also sometimes the cars that changes. Like in Forza Horizon 1 and Forza Horizon 4, there are a lot of cars that weren't included in Forza Horizon 4 from Forza Horizon 1. But then again, there's so many more cars in Forza Horizon 4 than there are in Forza Horizon 1. So like each game is a different plate of food that you will enjoy at your own pace. Anyways, Forza Horizon 5. Now, there's going to be a huge jump between Forza Horizon 4 and Forza Horizon 5. You have, of course, transitional weathers, as I mentioned previously. There are microbiome weathers, where each section of the map will have different weather. And they've done this new form of technology where what they're going to do is that every single season, every single day for the next, just the foretold future of Forza Horizon 5 will be completely different to the day beforehand. Each day. And it's not just like each real life day, it's each Forza Horizon cycle day is going to be a different weather. That is insane. If you don't understand, it's a very broad thing that it's very difficult to understand, but just the amount of different weathers and everything else, and it has a complete different value to Forza Horizon 4. And for many of the Forza Horizon 4 fans and Forza Horizon fans in general, everyone knows that Forza Horizon 4 kind of just kicked the bucket midway. They were pretty much failing the first few months, or just basically even the first year it was released. It was a huge catastrophe. But then they picked it up again and then just started adding things to the game. They started to listen to the people a lot more. And that's one of the things that Forza Studios has over a lot of other game franchises, Call of Duty, um, where they actually do listen to their people. They listen to the community. That's one of the things that I really look at when I see at Forza, where it's like they always listen to their community. There's always adding the cars that people want to be in the game, which is obviously like one of the biggest aspects between games. It's the cars, the things that are in the game, the biggest aspect of the game. Cars. That's what all goes back to. Cars. All the different games have different car amounts. They have different environments you can drive in, and different upgrades to each different game. Anyways, moving on.
And deliver it better, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a smart investment. Forza Horizon 5 is a joke, and you're a joke if you buy it. I highly suggest that you get examined thoroughly by both a physician and a psychologist if you think that this is a wise financial decision. Turn 10 have proven that they are complete idiots when it comes to developing racing games, and I wouldn't trust them with a racing game if my life depended on it. So you can be sure that your boy Dead Metal damn sure isn't going to trust them with $60 of my hard-earned cash, expecting to have anything remotely resembling fun being played on my system. They simply cannot be trusted to get it done. But you are Forza fans, if nothing else. They do exist. Some of you out there do partake in the playing of this trash game. And to that, I can only offer my condolences that you hate yourself that much to try to enjoy and convince and delude yourself into a sense of fun. Prancing around in Mexico in Forza 5. I mean, what the...
Alright. Oh my god, back again. Dead Metal loves to insult people whenever they try to enjoy something very prominent in a lot of his videos. It's kind of sad in a sense. He just loves to bash on people when you should be just supporting people in general, not just bashing on them. And now, Dead Metal is a very big channel. Well, in a sense, it's a big channel. It has around a couple thousand, like 4,000 or more subscribers ish. But there's a pretty big issue when it comes to that because, of course, he has a big fan base. A lot of his videos got a lot of views, and that's mostly because of the hate that those videos receive. Now, I'm not gonna bash on him anymore because obviously that would just reverse the point that I'm trying to make. That don't hate on people, but if you don't want to pay $60 again. Game Pass. Just get it on Game Pass. Game Pass is the more viable option. You get so many more games just by paying $8. If $60 is too much, then just, get the $8 version. Save up for whenever you have enough money, you can buy it then afterwards. And with Game Pass, you will actually get a discount with the game, which is like a lot because it's basically saying, okay, you've been playing this game, you've been paying for this game, so now you get the chance to pay for less. So then there you go. You have a value deal to go off of. And then of course he resolves the issue that I was talking about previously. Microsoft does not make the game. He literally just said Turn 10 Studios are the ones making the game. So there's no correlation between Microsoft directly into Forza because Turn 10 Studios, Playground Games, they're the ones making the game. Those are the people that are actually putting their time, investing their time into the game. So there's no correlation to Microsoft. That argument's out of the box. So what is that, 90% of the video? It's not even relevant at this point. And then going back to it, why do you bash on Mexico so much? Is there some heated, I don't want to say the word, but is there some heated tension between you and that country, the people maybe? I don't know. I'm not going to go further into it because I know YouTube doesn't really like it when that type of word is, or any action directed between that word is used on this platform. So I won't say the word or just go any further onto it. But Mexico is such an amazing option, amazing country to go into. I myself, I'm not Mexican. I have a lot of friends who are Mexican though, and it's they're so excited for their country to be represented in a game when one of the main games that we used to play a lot, Modern Warfare, not in any point still haven't added the Mexican flag to the game, which is kind of sad. When you want to be represented in a game, your identity, you part of a country, you want to be identified, you want to be present in that of the internet because you want to fit in with others. And for a game not to do that, it can break you sometimes. But then Forza Horizon 5 is bringing this whole new culture, bringing it into the light so people can enjoy it, people can view it, people can talk about it, and then just, it's there for the people to enjoy. It's there for the people to be seen. And that's what Forza Horizon 5 is. It's not just a game. It's not a game about cars. It's not just a game about being in Mexico, about driving cars in Mexico. It's about the culture that it brings with the game. It's the innovative advancements that are coming with the game. That is just that's part of being a gamer, or just part of being in the Forza community, or just playing a game in Forza. Anyways, that'll be all for this video. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, consider leaving a like down below, hitting that subscribe button, hitting the little bell to be notified. There are a lot of things on Dead Metal's channel. If you want to go check out his stuff, then sure, go check out what he has on there. Don't bash on him too hard. If you have any opinions, of course, you can ask me to review them. Just say, can you review this, review that in the comment section down below. Or you can just revoke his opinions on his YouTube videos or whatever. But, anyways, that'll be all for today. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.